of the core team, Sullivan, and in particular, how they fit in with playing with under Calvine and East Line?
I thought they both had great games. I thought they played hard. They brought us some energy. You can see their hockey IQ is high. Their compete level is high. I'm sure they were playing on adrenaline, and for obvious reasons. When you get called up and have an opportunity to play in the NHL, and it's a dream come true for these guys. And so I'm sure they were playing on adrenaline. But I thought they had a huge impact. I thought they played real well. I thought they fit in on the lines. Rutgers, a good-sized kid that goes to the net. He was pretty good in forecheck. He doesn't just throw pucks away. And Belay, I think, is a smart player that sees the ice real well, plays a pretty good give and go game. I was curious to see how Belay would do with the pace and the size of the NHL, and I thought he handled it extremely well. I look forward to watching him here more. But I thought their games tonight were terrific.
Just what you see from Jari tonight, got a lot of him to read out.
He was just solid. I thought our team did a better job at limiting some of the high quality looks that he's been faced with the prior couple of games. I thought our group as a whole did a better job working to limit not only the quality but also the quantity of the looks. So I'm sure that helped him, but he still made a few big saves. Give a lot of credit, they had a lot of talent. They got a few looks, and Jar's made some big saves for us.
Seth on the right.
Mike, as you just mentioned, what Ottawa had, Sid talked about, he thought the team had better puck management. Just overall, what do you think led to much better defensive effort compared to maybe the last 2 games?
Well, I've always said this, and I've always been a strong believer that a good defensive game always starts with your ability to manage the puck and the decisions that you make with the puck in certain areas of the rink. If you make poor decisions in the wrong areas of the rink, it's hard to get the players in any sort of a defensive posture to defend. So for me, it always starts there. And when we do a good job, in particular at the lines, at both lines, coming out of our end and on the ozone entries, and our ability to play in the high ice, and when we run out of space, our willingness to reset pucks down below the goal line, just forcing teams to have to play goal line to goal line and come through numbers to get to our net. I think it's such an important aspect of an overall team game. I thought we did a much better job tonight than we did the prior couple of games. We didn't give up nearly the amount of odd man looks that we did against Tampa or we did against Buffalo.
You've mentioned several times this season just how Noel Acciari does all the thankless jobs on the team. He has 7 hits tonight, another blocked shot. Just how good was he tonight, and how important of a role has he played for you guys this season?
He's an important player for us. I think a lot of his contributions don't always show up on the highlight reel, or they don't show up on the score sheet. Those are the thankless jobs that we're talking about. He's been a big part of our penalty kill. He can take face-offs. He can play the wing. He's got an element of physicality to his game. He's willing to block shots. He pays the price. There's a cost of winning, and he's willing to pay it. And so, I think Noel's been an invaluable player for us throughout the course of the year. We put him in tough spots. He gets a lot of D-zone starts against other teams' top lines. And if he doesn't win the face-off, he defends hard. And so that's an important role for our team. And I think Noel's a guy that he prides himself in that aspect. He knows what he brings to the group, and he prides himself in it. But he's a valuable player for us.
Rob?
I'm not going to second guess a guy that has 600 goals and 1,600 points. I'm not going to ask you to either, but Sid has that shot that he scored on in his arsenal. It's something we maybe see less from him than any other thing that he does. Over the years, have you ever had to sort of remind him that he has that shot, that it's there, make it?
Well, we've encouraged him to shoot the puck, for sure. We've encouraged him to shoot the puck more. I think, but for the same reasons you're suggesting to me that it's hard to second guess a guy like that. coaching players of that nature, just my experience, has been that, you know, when we broach those subjects, we do it very delicately, because they see it way better than the rest of us do. And so, you know, but if, hey, listen, every player goes through struggles, ups, downs, and, you know, in my 10 years with Sid, he's had some of those, and usually part of that solution is simplifying, and part of simplifying is, on the offensive side, is shooting the puck. And so, you know, there are the times where we try to encourage him to shoot a little bit more, big shot first, but he's pretty good at making that decision, so.
Thanks, Coach. Just a reminder, we're down